Morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Thursday, March 5th, 2026. I'm Jay Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tess Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Ayo.
Ayo. And last but not least, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Comment away on Spotify. Go nuts. We got a fun one today. Later in the show, we are going to draft some underrated players from this season. We'll do a couple rounds of that. So you'll be able to play along, especially in the stream team. Hey, this guy's underrated. Hey, what about this guy?
This is going to be a great show for What About This Guy?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But let's start with a few of the games from last night. We had a very entertaining game in Madison Square Garden. Potential finals preview? Maybe. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But it was entertaining, especially the second half. Chet Holmgren, SGA helping the Thunder beat the Knicks 103-100. Your takeaways?
Yeah, I thought the Knicks got better in the second half and just realized, all right, Jalen Brunson's got Case and Wallace all over him, plus that second big that's just ready to pounce in the first half. So they switched up a little bit, got him off the ball a little bit more, and that was just very smart of them. They go from 40 points in the first half to 40 points in the third quarter alone. And you could say they adjusted perfectly. I thought Karl-Anthony Towns also adjusted perfectly. I think he's just adjusted in general. We're watching a different version of Karl-Anthony Towns here at the center spot where they say, okay, Carl, we're not going to ask you to shoot every second possession. What we want you to do is play really hard defensively in space, board as hard as possible, so you don't have to waste all that energy offensively. And I thought he did a really good job of that. When there were opportunities offensively, like the offensive rebounds he was grabbing, he did that. He did a great job of that and turning those into points. 3 offensive boards in the first half, 6 offensive boards in the second half. So overall, 17 and 17. When he saw a little lane that he could sprint and cut, he did a good job doing that to turn those into points. I mean, you could say, oh, Chet kicked his ass in the first half. He didn't do a good job defensively. He had 22 points in the first half. But I think a lot of that was just the Knicks not able to rotate fast enough. It wasn't on Cat. I thought Cat did a good job getting in the way of a dribble driver from the outside, but then they just rotated and they hit threes, and everybody just didn't rotate fast enough. Chet only hit 2 shots over Cat, really. Took him once on the dribble and then was able to have a putback on him. So 2 makes in the first half on Karl-Anthony Towns, even though it was 22 points in the first half. The Knicks just weren't ready. For whatever reason, they weren't ready to rotate and play hard defensively, and they didn't have this other half solved offensively. So that's what led to the third quarter. And like, as you said, maybe it's a finals preview. It's only the first time they've played this year, so Mike Brown wasn't ready. He just wasn't ready, but he got ready in the third quarter. I thought they turned it around, and he turned it around, putting Jalen off the ball a little bit more.
Chet was the difference in this game on both ends of the court. I really thought the Knicks did play pretty solid defense. They held the Thunder to 103, which is like one of their lowest totals in a couple of months. They only gave up 50 in the first half, but Chet was getting wide open jumpers time after time. I don't know if you blame Cat, but people were getting beat off the dribble, and Chet was wide open. He was getting easy catch and shoot opportunities to begin with. He was aggressive, looking for a shot. Then that turned into him attacking closeouts, which turned into him coming across screens, movement 3-pointers, which turned into mid-range jumpers in the fourth quarter. On the other side, the Wemby effect was there for Chet Holmgren as well. How many times did Jalen Brunson get into the lane and throw a jump pass? Yeah. The defense on Brunson, I thought, was awesome from the Oklahoma City Thunder. There was an extra set of eyes on him every single time. There was the help from Chet or from somebody digging down to try and deflect inside while Brunson is driving. He just never got comfortable to the point where he got a wide open look for 3 to tie the game and just couldn't make it because he was 5 of 18 on the night. Most of his shots coming early. This was just a good game. Like the Knicks, I think, for taking the loss, have to hold their heads pretty high, how well they played defensively, how well they have been playing defensively. And Landry Shamet is good now.
Oh my God.
The guy was like Dustin Dort off the dribble, scoring easily. He's maybe the best on-ball defender that the Knicks have. He plays tough, at least at the point of attack. So they've found something with him, with Alvarado coming. No Mitchell Robinson for last night. Maybe he would have helped as well, but the Knicks were playing small. That was definitely helping them. I thought in that fourth quarter, if they get a little bit better performance from Brunson, probably a win for New York, all things considered. But to me, Cheddar Cheese was the guy that made it happen for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, the huge first half where he couldn't miss from three. And then he did have like a timely like baseline jumper down the stretch. And then SGA hit a huge three that sort of gave them some breathing room. Though, like you said, Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby off the tip out there, offensive rebound, had a chance.
2 good looks
on the final possession there to tie this thing up and maybe get it to overtime. But instead, OKC wins their 4th straight, snaps the Knicks' little win streak there. Back-to-back situation for both teams, too, but SGA hadn't played in the game prior. Like you said, no Mitchell Robinson there for the Knicks. And then some injuries to the Thunder guys, too, in Hartenstein and Caruso, I guess, leaving this game. So fun second half for sure. I'm with you guys. What do you think about Mike Brown picking up his first technical foul as a Knicks head coach? First quarter, he was complaining to the referees that they missed what should have been Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 3rd foul when he crashed into Jalen Brunson there. No call on the play. I think he even scored the bucket. And Brown, after the game, said, SGA, he's a tough cover. And he does a great job of convincing the referees, probably better than anybody in the league, that he's getting hit. But Brown was pissed. I thought he like bumped up against the referee and trying to prove his point there, what he thought was a Brunson charge.
Oh, he should have been pissed.
Yeah, they missed that one.
They did miss that one, and that would have given Shai 3 fouls with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. So he sits for a bunch of minutes, most likely. Instead, he plays 9+ minutes in that second quarter. So yeah, they made a big difference. I know the headlines are, as you sort of said, Shai knows how to make sure the referees don't know that he's pushing off or that he can draw a foul, because that's where the headlines went. He can draw a foul. He knows how to draw a foul, but that wasn't the story on that play or in this game. He had 7 free throws in this game. One of them was a technical free throw that Mike Brown got. So he really wasn't going to the line a lot. But the story is, Shai can draw fouls. In this instance, it was, you should have called the foul, and he would have had 3 fouls. That's what the story is right there. So yeah, he's right. Brown was right. He hit him. I thought that should have been charged.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, Brunson's a flopper. You know, that's why he doesn't always get the call. He calls himself an under the rim protector. Yeah, because he's always trying to take a charge. He probably should have gotten the call there.
He drew like how many in this game?
At least 2. Yeah,
2 or 3. I think.
But
offensive foul.
Crazy to go this long without getting a technical. I know Mike Brown's a good guy. But come on, step it up for your team. That's like a Fred Hoiberg move. He sucked as a coach.
I will say Mike Brown doesn't usually do this type of like post-game calling out a guy too. That's that is not the Mike Brown playbook. For him to do that, maybe it means a little something. But yeah, look, SGA, not this one, like you're talking about, Tass, this was probably a charge. But the chicken wing that SGA does to create space, Brunson does it all the time too. They're probably the worst 2 in the league at it, or on the short list at least. So they sort of balance each other out, I guess, in this game. But good stuff.
Good stuff.
No one's going to be upset if this is a finals preview or a finals matchup. This is supposed to be a very competitive series, with especially when the Knicks can play this type of defense, at least. Yeah. How they have over the last, what do we say, like 4 or 5 weeks. They've been pretty elite.
Yeah, and good job by the ESPN headline writers that wrote the headline as Mike Brown, SGA does great job convincing refs he's getting hit. They made that about him drawing free throws. That's smart. But it wasn't about it. In this instance, again, just shot 7 free throws. The refs did a good job. The Knicks pushed the ball. You don't really think of the Knicks as a team that pushed the ball, but they beat them 14-2 in fast break points. They were into it. Again, I just thought the rotations were a little slow. Like Mo Diawara, the guy. I mean, he just missed one. You got to rotate, dude. You look good shooting threes. Put one on the floor to shoot threes. That being said, yeah, they just weren't perfect in this game against a really good team. You said Alex Caruso went out, but I guess he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Guy always gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hartenstein, left calf injury, as Tim Bontemps said, that's the 3rd time he's injured his left calf this season. So is that something to worry about? A little bit, but they got so many guys that's not. If you got one guy out, you're all right. But the Caruso thing, it's something to watch, but he looks like he's fine.
Any other notes?
Not for me. Not on this
Thunder
one.
Knicks. It was great. Yeah, really entertaining. Let's go to the Charlotte Hornets, one of the hottest teams in the league, continuing their win streak here. They beat the Celtics 118-89. 6th straight win. They're above 500, and this was an ass-kicking, TK. And I know, this may be a schedule loss for Celtics. I think it was their 6th game in 9 nights, so heavy part of their schedule, a lot of games. But man, Charlotte, also in a back-to-back situation, like they just from the jump and kept their foot on the gas.
Yeah, Scalabrini said on the broadcast that he thought the Hornets surprised him, and he also said it felt like it's us playing us.
Yeah,
and
right.
it definitely felt like that, the way the Hornets were getting things done on the offensive end. Everything worked for them last night. LaMelo doing his silly basketball moves, hitting a 1-footer from 35 feet out on the left wing. That worked. Set plays for Brandon Miller. That worked. Getting out in transition off steals. That worked. Kobe White dribble drives. That worked. Ryan Kalkbrenner rolling to the hoop. That worked. The ball always moves side to side with this team, and you see why they went after Kobe White. This was his best game so far as a Hornet. 17 points, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, and a couple of threes in 20 minutes. He just had 20 against Portland as well. It means that the Hornets always have 2 of LaMelo, Miller, Khan, and Kobe on the court. They needed another ball handler behind LaMelo Ball, who has been awesome for this team. I think it's going a little bit under the radar how good this guy is. You'll read a Charlotte Hornets breakdown, and he's like the 4th guy mentioned, and he should be no lower than the 2nd guy mentioned. He really makes this team go, but adding another guy who can dribble, pass, and shoot in Kobe White means that they have 48 minutes of playmaking and scoring with the ball in their hands. Not to mention Miller and Khan. It feels like every time they get a catch and shoot, it's going to go in. And I think it almost always goes in for Khan. 19 threes last night for the Hornets, only 10 for Boston. 5 turnovers for the Hornets, 16 for Boston. This was a Celtics-like game for the Hornets. They play each other again pretty soon. The surprise factor won't be there. I don't think that's the entire reason they won. They just look better. They won the possession battle, and they have a good offense. That means you're going to win a lot of games, and the Hornets have been winning a lot of games.
Yeah, the Celtics may have not been ready, but the Hornets won this game. It wasn't that the Celtics lost this game, in my eyes, because the Hornets apparently got to Boston at 5 a.m. because they were on a back-to-back.
Oh, I thought it was 4 a.m. Has it increased to 5?
And that may have just been me increasing.
It was late.
It was late.
Or early.
And the Celtics came off just a great win when they were playing the 5th game in 7 nights. Yeah, so sure. 6 and 9, sure. But the Hornets kicked their ass, and it did look like they're sort of looking in the mirror at guys who could create on the outside, a little bit of penetration. Let's get it out to somebody else who can shoot. A lot of guys can shoot on this team. That's the beauty of this team. They have 3 guys that shoot 8 threes or more. There's only 14 guys in the league that do that. So they got 3 of them, and they are ready to fire. And they're ready to cut when they need to cut. As Trey said, you got a Kalkbrenner roll. You got a Brandon Miller cut for a huge dunk in this game. I think I like the Jaylen Brown dunk more. Both great dunks but in this game. But they play really good defensively. They allow the fewest free throws in the game. They defensive board really hard. They offensive board really hard. Surprised with that. Number 1 at defensive rebounding. Number 3 at offensive rebounding. But yeah, they just, with LaMelo Ball playing like LaMelo we've seen at times, being able to penetrate and dish that ball, and you have Brandon Miller in there, and now Kobe White, who creates for himself. That's what he does out there. They got a lot of guys. But the Celtics, I think part of it was a little flat. They had a 5-second violation. You don't see those very often. But the Hornets won this thing. They were and are awesome to watch.
The Hornets have a 20-2 record now with this starting lineup. Their preferred starting lineup of LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Con Knippel, Miles Bridges, and Moussa Diabaté. 20-2, and these like some very quality wins against good teams. And just like before that game last night, I saw that unit had outscored opponents by nearly 31 points per 100 possessions over like approximately a 300-minute sample, according to NBA.com. So just unbelievable numbers here for that starting 5. And then, now you got the Kobe White. He just puts so much pressure on a defense. The guy just attacks, and plays with pace. And I thought last night, even every time the Celtics were like, here we go, we'll make a run, get back into it, seemed like Kobe White had a bit of an answer. Or sort of a score to like shush the crowd a little bit. So great game. Also, that Celtics crowd, they love themselves some Con Knippel. What a shock. But nice little bounce back game for him because he was in like a tiny little slump for Con Knippel, a rookie. 2 games, hadn't shot the ball all that well, but got a couple free throws going, led them with 20 points, 4 of 8 from deep. Have you seen his shooting splits from home to the road? They're wild. At home, Con Knippel is shooting 38% from deep. Really, really good. On the road, the guy's shooting 49% from 3, 52% from the floor overall. Like his usage is up there. All his stats are up. So he's like sort of a better road player right now. Sort of a small sample size, 1 year, but I don't know. That's fares well if they got to go into a playoff series here. They're going to be starting on the road.
They're going to be starting on the road, but they're only 2.5 games back of 6th in the Eastern Conference.
Philly nearly lost last night. That would have been
Philly
really
got lucky.
big for Charlotte.
Yeah, Jabari Walker saved their hide last night, I thought. But the Hornets are definitely playing better than anybody ahead of them, Philadelphia, Orlando, and Miami. I think they only play Philadelphia one more time. It's 1-1 season series, so that's a tiebreaker.
Big.
That'll be a huge game. I think they got Miami maybe a couple of more times. That'll be big. I don't think the Hornets are going to win a first-round playoff series. But they'll get like probably 25% of the picks, I think, because, I mean, they're just a fun team to watch. You know, it'll be different when they get into a playoff situation, but they're enjoyable and they have a real identity. And like people in the stream team are saying, Charles Lee was a coach for the Celtics 2 years ago. He said, I like what you're doing. We just won a championship. I'm going to take that and do it with some young guys. And now that LaMelo finally has other players around him, he plays good basketball. I'm glad I've been a LaMelo fan this whole time.
Yeah. It was a swing from the first 20 games of the season to what they are now, but you can talk yourself into them winning a series. You can't.
Ooh,
you can't.
I can't. Here's what would be a win for them in my mind. It's like do what the Pistons did last year. Get into a series. Let's get there first. I know we're jumping ahead. Maybe they are the 5th best team in the Eastern Conference right now. They probably are. They're better than the Raps. Probably better than the Sixers, how banged up they are. The Hawks and Magic, you can't have faith in really those teams anyway. But get into a series, and like the Pistons did against the Knicks, put up a hell of a fight. Make it a very competitive first-round series. No matter who you're playing, win a couple, have a couple go down the stretch, take your lumps. But I don't think because they're not going to play the Raptors. They're not going to play the Sixers. They're going to be playing one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. I'm sorry.
I'm not thinking really about the other side of the ball, the other teams. I'm thinking about what Charles Lee is building there. Like, what don't they have right now?
Fair.
They have guys who can fire away from three.
Yeah.
They have really good rim protectors in both Diabaté and Kalkbrenner. And then, if things aren't going right, like we saw in this game, the great pickup of Kobe White, just to throw out there and put the offense on you, man, because that's what he does. He's not a creator for anybody, really. He creates for himself. And so they have the right things. Are they going to be able to play enough defense? Does it matter? I mean, is LaMelo going to be able to carry this into postseason? That's the bigger question. Is bright lights, never done it.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
So that's that.
Look,
there's that question.
Just get there. I mean, that's the first step here.
Just
Obviously,
get there.
Maybe get the 6th seed, which they could chase down one of those teams, or make your way in through the play-in. I mean, we could have this first round matchup, right? Again, they could run that back. We could get Celtics Hornets.
That would be enjoyable,
right? Maybe 3-6, maybe 2-7, something like that. So it's possible we see it again, and then we get all those clips of wasn't that the series where Alonzo Mourning hit a game-winning shot for the Hornets way back in the day?
He
I think
did
that was
a game
against the
winner
Celtics, wasn't it?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going way back, like early 90s, basically.
Yeah,
mid-90s. Yeah. Let's show you the other results from last night in the association. Talked about the Thunder win, the Hornets win, but Sixers just beat the Jazz. Blazers took care of business, beating the Grizzlies. We'll get to Jrue Holiday a little bit later in the show. Hawks won, beat the Bucks, and Clippers beat the Pacers. That's a weird one because I guess the Pacers would really want the Clippers to win that game to help their chances of keeping their pick. Yeah. Anyway, off of that, if the playoffs started today, guys, we got the brackets on NBA.com. I don't know how long they've been up there, but I noticed today. So there's a look at what the play-in games would be. And I bring it up because the Clippers and Blazers both winning last night. They would right now play each other in one of those 9-10 games. And then you see the other side there, Hornets, Hawks, both winning last night as well on the East side, but that would be a 9-10 matchup too. Any takeaways from any of those other games last night or even the bracket that we see here on YouTube?
A takeaway from Indiana going to play Los Angeles. We got a tribute video for Ivica Zubac.
Nice.
That feels like the quickest turnaround on a tribute video in the history of the NBA. The guy got traded 2.5 weeks ago or whatever. Maybe it's 3 weeks ago. Maybe it's 4 weeks ago. I don't know. Anyways, feels fast. Whatever.
It was 1 month ago today, right?
Was it Feb 5?
Feb 5 was the deadline.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Nice.
So a month. That's better to look at.
We must have had quicker, have we not?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the fastest turnaround?
Yeah.
Great question.
On a tribute video. So not to be unexpected. The Clippers handled the Pacers, okay? They dealt with that. And you saw Philadelphia take care of Utah after the disappointing loss to San Antonio. And they lost to Boston, so not unexpected. I mean, they had a lot of guys hurt again, but then not unexpected. And then we saw a Milwaukee team against the Hawks that may not be good enough to make a play in. And that's where we are at this point with the Milwaukee Bucks. It's sad. I know the Hawks have won 5 in a row, all bad teams. A couple Wizards, a Blazers, a Nets, and now the Bucks. All bad teams.
Right.
And so I haven't
Teams
looked
they
at
should beat.
I haven't looked at the strength of the schedule the rest of the way and how difficult the opponents are for the Milwaukee Bucks, but
Not looking good.
no, of course not.
No.
That's 4 straight blowouts. They're getting destroyed
they
in
are.
this game. 29 against the Knicks, 23 against the Bulls, 27 against the Celtics, 18 last night against the Hawks. They've been outscored by 83 total points in the second halves of those games. They fall apart defensively, get beat off the dribble.
Yeah.
They overhelp. They don't know where they're supposed to be. They were doubling Jock Landale post-ups all night. 23s for the Hawks last night. 18 of them were assisted. They would just get the ball into the paint easily, kick it out for a wide open 3. Giannis played, but you didn't really feel him. I don't think he's really done much on the defensive end to help the Bucks. I think in these 4 games, they're 27th in defense, which is bad, but they're 30th in offense. So things are not clicking at all for Milwaukee. And like you said, 5-0 for the Hawks since they benched Zach Risache, though. He played well last night.
Yeah.
Shooting wide open jumpers.
He did.
Yeah.
Man, this was really bad defense for the Bucks. They look really, really bad.
Yeah. The Doc has been throwing out guys with the Bucks. As we said, his last game, they sit Ryan Rollins just because they want to sit Ryan Rollins for some odd reason. Ousmane Dieng, who they got at the deadline a mere 4 weeks ago, is starting games. And so they're dabbling. And I don't know if they're trying to impress Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here, you see this Ousmane Dieng? We got a wing. Maybe play with him. Let's see how much you guys can grow over the next 20 days, and maybe we can convince you to stay. But because they're dabbling and because they're experimenting now with 20 games left, you're going to get bad rotations. And CJ McCollum's going to just float by Kyle Kuzma. Now, I will say, Dyson Daniels, he did a good job against Giannis, I thought, just fighting and scrapping. Giannis, his numbers are good because they're always good.
Yeah.
But he did a good job there. But, they gave up way too many points. Again. That's what they do. 131 points against the Hawks, who've been scoring really well against those bad teams. But they've been hot. They have been hot, and their bench was good with Reese Shea and Corey Kispert doing their thing.
Bucks are definitely 1-2-3 Cancun right now.
Yes, they are.
Or 1-2-3
Yes, they are.
hit the golf course, I guess.
I
That's
mean,
what Doc loves.
I was like 8-2 in the 10 games before this 4-game streak.
Yeah, again,
They were good. They were
garbage teams too, as Bobby
Well,
said.
Well, most of them.
Even he admitted
Yeah.
that. It's like, we beat the crap teams. But
but they can't
they're
beat a
just-
crap team now. I mean, they're just bad.
No, they are. I mean, and Kuzma, like you said, to go back to the whole, what is Doc doing here? Like, I know he had that stupid pass the other night. I guess it was against your Bulls, where he that was the weirdest pass where he I don't even know how to describe it, where he flipped it to the corner. Anyway, he plays sort of poorly in that game. And then he gets a DNP the next game. But then he's back playing against the Hawks last night, and Kuzma played well, shot 7 of 8.
He scored well.
You're right. This what is Doc doing?
I mean, he was one of the major culprits on the
defensive end. Yes,
Yeah.
he gives
doesn't
it
know where to
all
be.
back.
Yeah.
even
Bobby
if he's scoring.
Portis hasn't sprinted on defense this season.
No, they've given up.
They have.
If we're being honest, they gave up probably a long time ago.
Oh, come on. They didn't give it a long time ago. I mean, they beat the Heat. They beat the Cavs. There were some injuries there. They beat the Thunder in that 8-2 run. But, now you just can't lose all these games. Again, throwing Ryan Rollins to the bench, it didn't make any sense. The guy has been their point guard, and I know they haven't had a good season, but he has been good for them. So I just don't understand the dabbling. And Giannis doesn't seem extremely excited. He scored a basket. It was an and one. He hits the ground. Bobby Portis was ready to sprint and help him up, but Giannis said, I'm just getting help myself. I don't need any help. Maybe he's looking out for his future on his own in a different city. Either way, I'm reading into that. But the Bucks stink, unfortunately.
One of the other takeaways from some results last night, and all credit to Tom Haberstroh, who was first to notice this, the bottom 10 teams in the NBA right now are on a collective 44-game losing streak. When you add them all up in terms of consecutive games lost, we're at 44. For the bottom 10 teams. And you said the other day to me, TK, it's like, well, could have been even worse if the Bulls didn't pick up that one random win. Though I guess it was against...
It was against the Bucks.
It was against the Bucks.
Yep.
So Point is, that's a lot of losing games there for the bottom 10 in the league. Streak, if you want to call it that, ends tonight, though. We got Jazz Wizards. We got Pelicans Kings. So, 2 teams are picking up wins.
That's big. That's really big.
So the collective, we unfortunately on Tankathon, it won't be all lost as the streak after tonight because unless they do the impossible and somehow both lose in both these games.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have to happen. I've said before, I want tanking to go to the next level, start scoring on your own basket to really put pressure on Adam Silver to try and fix this thing. But yeah, that's an incredible stat, though.
It is.
The bad teams are bad.
It is.
And want to be, maybe.
They do want to be bad.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite draft guy? Like, I'm sure you've seen clips going around.
Boozer.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you would choose him, but
yeah,
me too.
I think Boozer's going to be the best. Well, I mean, they all look great. Yeah. But Boozer is going to be the number 1 pick in my mind.
Yeah, he's the one that stands out in my mind, but
yeah,
I think he's going 3. Yeah. I think
really?
He seems to have the least rep. Yeah, because he's not a jumper. He's not an athlete. He's a winner. I think he's the best guy as well. But it seems to be between Diabaté, probably.
Yeah. He's hot. He's so hot right now.
He's a super athlete and an unstoppable scorer. And I think Peterson would have gone number 1 if he didn't have these injuries / load management that's going on. A very weird situation. I personally don't care about that stuff unless he's actually hurt because hamstrings tend to linger. A guy who has had leg problems. Darius Garland played a second game for the Clippers last night. He was much better. 12 points, 8 assists. He looked twitchy again. He was getting downhill. It looked like good Darius Garland. I said the last one looked like bad Darius Garland, where he's very tentative. He was aggressive against the Pacers, a good team to be aggressive against.
For sure.
As far as those losing streak goes, I think the Jazz have the best losing streak of all the teams. Like, just the most digestible team that works really hard, a team that's aggravating to play against. Against the Sixers, I mean, they almost pulled it out. They have a lot of very close losses in these ones. Lost by 4 to the Sixers, 3 to the Denver Nuggets, and some worse ones. But at the same time, they play hard, even though they don't have their top guys. They all have to have surgery.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will do the underrated player draft.
We are 10 days away from both the NCAA men's college bracket and women's college bracket being determined. That Sunday selection thing. Did you guys see that South Alabama Coastal Carolina women's brawl yesterday where a referee went down and passed out?
Yes.
Was knocked out, I should say. It was scary.
But there's like 8 ejections, I think.
Yes.
A lot of people were tossed. A lot of the women were tossed.
And this is how you get in on those tournaments energy, like those players had last night. Right now with FanDuel, turn it into even bigger wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. Here's how it works. Build any college hoops parlay you like. The early tip, the rivalry game, the ranked matchup, the late night West Coast shootout, mixed spreads, totals, props, whatever fits your need. Then just apply your profit boost and instantly bump up that potential payout. Go safe, go spicy. Go with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay. Now with more upside. FanDuel. Play your game.
Remember we got somebody writing in, it may have been a Woboy sponsor, talking about his alma mater, Miami, Ohio, the Red Hawks, and how they were undefeated at the time he wrote in. I forget what they were at. They were maybe in the 20s or
they were in
high
the 20s.
teens. Yeah, okay. They still haven't lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think they're 30-0, 31-0.
What conference they play?
Mac.
Gary Trent Jr., Shaq of the Mac.
Return of the Mac.
Senior. My bad.
Return of the Mac. I say that song. I think we just had an anniversary on that song. I saw Mark Morrison tweet that.
Got to be 30 years?
Probably.
I mean, that's a 90s song.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, way to go, Red Hawks, man. Like, you gotta be in the dance. I don't care what conference you're in if you haven't lost a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Who's
right?
Right. So who's the max competition here?
Oh, I got no idea.
It's hard to.
Sephora.
Fenty Beauty.
Thank you. I couldn't think of another one.
I know makeup as well.
Man. I got no idea.
Give you another
who are the teams?
Maybe it's Maybelline. I wanted. I just wanted the conference to come up immediately, but it didn't. So I got to look more.
Okay.
I mean, I thought Oh,
Maybe Ball
Akron.
State. You got Ball State there.
They got Akron, Kent State, Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah.
Bowling Green.
These are not.
I love
so
the
a
name
lot of
Bowling
Ohio
Green.
teams is what you're telling me in the MAC.
Mid-American Conference. The Northern Illinois University Huskies in DeKalb, Illinois. Not DeKalb.
Yeah, wow.
That's confusing if you are one of 50 people who have ever lived in DeKalb County and DeKalb County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
DeKalb.
DeKalb.
Yeah, I think the Atlanta way of pronouncing it doesn't make any sense.
DeKalb. Where's that L, man? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why do you need it? Take
Yeah.
this L. Okay. So, well, I was thinking actually on the drive in today, I was like, oh yeah, we gotta eventually pick our March Madness bracket again. We do that every year. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, we do.
But we 1 year will go perfect. Hit every pick.
Yep.
What do they say the odds are? It's like 1 in like
never happened.
2 million,
No one's
trillion,
ever done it.
quadrillion. Yeah, whatever it is. What are you gonna say?
New strategy. Don't pick the teams that have draft prospects.
Yeah,
Pick the teams that have average ages of like 22 and a half.
we're just going old teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Old
that's the
guys are
move.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
They're grown men
All right.
To
Wow.
go how far?
to the championship.
Well, we're taking the Red Hawks, man. We're taking these Red Hawks. They score a ton. I was looking it up. They shoot the hell out of the ball, man. As a team, I think they shoot nearly 40% from three. They scored 90 points per game. That's a lot in college, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right,
don't know.
we'll take them. We'll
Nice.
take it in
I
there.
like Akron. 25-5.
The Zips.
The Zips, yeah.
The
nice.
Zips. Great name.
Yeah, Zippers.
30 in a row. Miami, Ohio's won 30 in a
Who
row.
do you remember what NBA player went there? He does. Do you?
I got
No.
two.
Oh, you got
No.
two.
Yeah.
I one was Wally Zerbiak, was it not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ron
yeah.
Harper.
Ron Harper was the other one. Oh, there you go.
They might have more, but those are the two I
Two
know.
solid players. Yeah. Okay, let's do our underrated player draft. Very few rules to this one. You can't pick an all-star. Right? I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Up to you what you determine as underrated. The other guys can take offense, I think, to it if they do not feel said player is underrated enough. But I think we all know what this means. Just guys that are not star players but are really important or that you like and you think have had great seasons. And we're really like focusing on this season. We'll do 3 rounds, so we'll draft 9 total players, and then you can bet your ass we'll do a what about this guy
Oh, yeah.
at the end. Because, look, there's so many guys, especially for us sickos, that you could pick from. I have a trivia question to decide between you guys who picks first, and then we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a weird one, but I'm watching the game at Madison Square Garden last night. Place I've been. It's a pretty amazing place to watch a game. And I want you, so I'm going to start with one. Who wants to answer first? Because the other guy will do an over-under on whatever the other guy says. Who wants
I
to?
got a number behind my back.
No. Oh, okay. We're gonna decide. Okay,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead. Throw a number behind your back, or
Oh, well,
what do you want
that's
him?
how we're deciding. I
Do you
thought you were
thi-
doing an over.
Do you think it's even or
Yeah,
odd?
okay,
my
yeah.
number.
Okay, here we
Even
go.
or odd.
I just showed it.
That's okay.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Castins.
I didn't see
All right,
it.
don't look. I'm
I
gonna get a
didn't
new
look
number.
at
I'm
the
gonna get a new
camera. I
number
didn't
here.
look at the monitor.
Okay.
Okay, Tess.
Definitely even.
Okay, Trey.
Is even.
Okay, so you're gonna pick the number here. All right,
Yeah.
here's the question, and then you're gonna get a chance to go higher or lower.
I didn't look
Tess?
at the monitor that time.
What is the official seating capacity for an NBA game at Madison Square Garden?
Okay.
You're gonna give the number, and then Trey will decide whether he
Official.
goes over or under.
Official.
Official.
Do they-
Look, I checked as much as I could that this was official. I know it can change, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
this is the numbers.
Do they include standing room?
Oh goddamn, Tess. I don't know.
The catwalks.
19,750.
Okay, 19,750. Trey Kirby, you either go over or under. This will decide who gets the number 1 pick.
Lower.
Tass Mills gets the number 1 pick.
Oh!
19,812. Very strong.
That was really
prediction,
good.
man.
I went down
100?
on 50. I went down by 50.
So
It feels like
you were gonna say
19,800.
19,800. Man, you would have been 12 off.
It feels like that's like a generic
feels
number.
like-
No, it feels like that's a generic number for NBA arenas.
It's pretty big.
19.8.
It's pretty big, I think, compared to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, maybe.
That
I
does
mean-
seem on the bigger
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So anyway, Tass, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and you have the honor here with the first pick in the underrated player draft.
With the first pick, it feels like you got to get dirty. And by dirty, I mean pick a guy who's really good and isn't super underrated. You know what I mean? Like has
Hold on. You're taking a guy that's not underrated
yeah
in
yeah.
the underrated player
yeah,
draft.
well, underrated. Our only rule is no all-star.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yes.
right.
our- should our rule be hasn't been talked about as a potential all-star, maybe. But I'm taking Derrick White, who has been talked about as an all-star.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's borderline.
This is borderline. Yeah.
I mean, if we want, maybe we should just go deeper than that. I should just toss Derrick White. No, whatever.
Take Derrick White,
he's
man.
heading my
Make the case.
three-man team. Well, I don't know. He's Derrick White. He is probably the best shot blocking guard in the NBA.
Of all time.
Done. Period. Yeah, it could be all time. But when you talk about Boston and why he is underrated, other names are mentioned first. And yeah, he needs to be really good for them to win. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, he does it all, man. He really, truly, 100% does it all. But again, when you talk about Boston, you're talking about the Jays, and you're talking about even Peyton Pritchard, I'd say, before him.
Yeah.
So,
See, I had Pritchard above Derrick White in my rankings for underrated player. Only because Derrick
He's
White has not
underrated.
had a great season, shooting the ball. He hasn't.
Well, yeah. Well, and Derrick White, too. They've both dropped off a little bit because so much has been on them. If you look at their true shooting percentages this year versus last year when Jason Tatum was there, yeah, they've dropped off. Peyton Pritchard has started this season, so it's been different for him. So his numbers have dropped off. So have Derrick White's.
Yeah.
But that will change when Tatum does come back. So, Derrick White,
Okay.
you're leading a great team, my friend. I think it's going to be a great team. A three-man team where you can do it all. Good luck to you, sir.
TK, who's your underrated pick?
I am going to be taking a big wing and a guard.
Oh, wow. You guys are actually building 3-on-3 teams.
Yeah, I want my
didn't
team
approach
in the
it that
big
way.
three.
Yeah.
Derrick White is a good choice. He is underrated, but him and Pritchard are too highly rated for me.
Yeah, it's the Boston media we're talking
'cause it's
about.
Well, I mean,
Boston,
Pritchard
maybe.
has an award, so I disqualified him as well.
Right.
Awards.
I'm going for my team is going to look the worst for sure,
all right,
guaranteed.
man.
Good for you.
Moussa Diabaté
I had him
Nice
on my
one.
list.
is my number one
Nice
pick.
one.
He has more offensive rebounds in his career than made shots. Last year, all we talked about was his offensive rebounding. And yeah, we talked about Moussa Diabaté last year. Did any other NBA podcast? I don't think so, Tim. But we did.
Yeah.
And now he's on my team. Everybody loves Moussa Diabaté. He fought against Jalen Duren. It was really exciting to see. He's got his own celebration, which is pretty impressive for a guy who's 8 points and 8 rebounds. But he defends, he sets screens, and he throws down a big dunk every now and then. So antlers up for my guy.
Yeah, and they sell those foam antlers for
Smart.
him, man. Yeah, cashing
Very
in on
smart.
that, on the moose.
Great. It is incredible how they are the number one defensive rebounding team. A lot of it obviously is that guy. We've talked about him so much. Sometimes I say Moussa Cisse instead of Moussa Diabaté because we say Moussa all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, Cisse. He's a guy. He's a guy who plays for the Dallas Mavericks. Has the same Moussa name. But he's so good, and the scrappiness is important on a team like that. And yeah, he almost got into a fight because he got angry. But yeah, he plays with all his heart on the floor. There's no doubt.
Last night, they compared him to Wemby and Ben Wallace on the Celtics broadcast. Whoa. I was like, wow. Wow. And that was not even Tommy Heinsohn. Scalabrini has really fit into that role, I think, perfectly. I like listening to him on the broadcast. He gets excited.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
He said, do you remember? No, he said, do you know who Ben Wallace is?
Wow. Wow.
And play-by-play guy who's young, and that was the whole joke,
Yeah.
is that Ben Wallace hasn't been, playing for 15 years, 16 years. It's like, yeah. What's your question? Do I know who Ben Wallace is?
Yes, I do. He's a Hall of Famer. I saw James Jackson at The Athletic write this morning, or at least I saw it this morning, about the Hornets. Knipple, Miller, Diabaté provide 3 key elements for any basketball team. Sound floor spacing, Knipple. Effective isolation scoring, that's Brandon Miller this season. And then consistent interior play, and that is the Moose. That's Diabaté. In addition to obviously what LaMelo can bring to that team, but he has been great. I had him on my list. Tass, I'm not sure if you did, but he was there. So Trey takes him in the first round, takes the Moose. Good stuff. All right, I have the first pick to close out the first round here. Third pick overall. I love this guy. I talk about him all the time. Give me Josh Hart.
Nice.
That guy impacts winning in every way imaginable. He's the best NBA rebounder. I was going to say pound for pound, but inch for inch, because the guy's under 6'5", and he has like a total rebound percentage of 13% or higher. And over the last 4 seasons, he's done it like multiple times. No other guy that short puts up those type of rebounding numbers. And, he's starting here most of the season, gives him 13, 8, and 6. Shoots fairly consistent in those starts. He just plays unselfishly. And it's like, I don't know, like if you were to do the old, I guess, ringer ranking, I don't know where Josh Hart would be on the top 100 players in the NBA. I don't even know if he'd be selected top 100. But my point is, if we lined every guy up and you're just trying to create a winning team, like he's going to be taking over so many guys that score more or are bigger names if you're just trying to win to be like your fourth or fifth piece, because he's just the perfect connector. So he's could have been on this list if we had done this draft for multiple years, and he still has it to me. So Josh Hart.
This is the time of the year as well that he's going to start racking up triple doubles. He'll get them occasionally here and there during the first couple of months of the season, but then when it becomes who's playing the hardest in March and April, Josh Hart often plays the hardest. So watch for some big lines.
It's true. Okay, we've got Derrick White, Moose, and Hart gone.
Yeah.
Back to you for the second round.
Yes, two of the guys that were at the top of my list, Josh Hart up there as well. Maybe because we're hardcores. I thought him and Derrick White almost unpickable, but listen, they're underrated. Definitely both of them. That's what they classify as, so that's fine. But two of the guys are off. Diabaté, great one. So I'm trying to think, am I going big? Am I going big beside my guy Derrick White? And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take the guy who backs up Moussa Diabaté. I'm taking Ryan Kalkbrenner.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is underrated. He was the Big East Defensive Player of the Year 4 years consecutively. And this year...
It's better than the Mac.
It's better than the back.
I know that much.
Yeah.
I talked him up in the summer league because of those. I was watching him, and he's still doing it. He's still just good at that side of the floor. Now, he's not the most super athletic guy, but there's a reason why the team is number one in defensive rebounding. Diabaté is part of it, but also Ryan Kalkbrenner is. That guy is just so good at not biting and just being giant. He swatted Jaylen Brown so hard yesterday. And that's Jaylen Brown. He was going at Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Kalkbrenner just played it perfectly. So you want a team that will have a guy that's going to deter you from the rim. It's Kalkbrenner. It's a deep pick. He's probably not going to start a lot in his career, but he's starting for this three-man team. You and Derrick White are leading this thing. Ryan Kalkbrenner.
A rookie getting selected here in the underrated player draft.
Yeah.
And we were debating the other day, will he make an all-rookie team? Well, obviously only 10 selections.
Right.
We sort of were like, it's maybe him or Maxime Renaud of the Kings. Like it could be one of those big white guys that have played great, and maybe one of them gets in there. So, all right, Kalkbrenner.
I like that it is his rookie season, and it is Moussa Diabaté's fourth season, and Kalkbrenner is 4 days older than Moussa Diabaté.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when we talked about the NCAA and picking old teams, Ryan Kalkbrenner would be on it.
That's right.
He's literally 24 years old. That's old.
Yeah,
for a rookie.
You got to stay in college a long time to win 4 straight defensive players of the year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's like, you look at him and sometimes you think, is that Brook Lopez? Like he's got, when he grows his hair a little bit, he's got some Brook in him. So I just convinced myself even more. Oh yeah, I want Brook Lopez on my team. Also, I want Ryan Kalkbrenner on my team.
Trey, you got the next pick here. 5th overall pick.
All right. Give me Julian Champagny.
Ooh. Were you torn between the two Spurs sharpshooters? Him and Devin Vassell?
Oh, Vassell too good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a top 5 pick, right?
No, he was like 111.
Vassell? Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It's still a lottery pick. Couldn't do it. But yeah, 38% for Champagny. He's also a solid rebounder, almost 6 rebounds per game. I feel like he's just the perfect guy to have around Wemby, shoots it when he's open, contributes on the defensive end. And at this point, it's still, you got to check the box score to know if you're talking about Julian or Justin.
Yes.
Julian is farther ahead than Justin for me, but yeah, pretty similar dudes. But yeah, give me Champagny. Great name.
Okay.
Great
no
name.
complaints with that. Yeah, okay, I understand maybe why you didn't want to take a Vassell, going as a lottery pick. But he's been around for a long time, Vassell, and he's changed his game quite a bit.
Sure.
Like this guy,
For sure.
that guy was like a 20-point per game scorer. I had forgotten about that on some crappy Spurs teams there. But now he's taken on a different role with obviously more talent on that team, and he has played his part. I had Vassell in the mix. I had Champagny as well, so I like it. I have the final pick of the second round. I'm going to keep it local, and I'm going to play the homer card, of course. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think, has been very underrated this year. He's been one of the best surprises for the Hawks here. He signed a 4-year, $60 million deal in a sign and trade with Minnesota to get him to Atlanta. That looks awesome now. He is basically a 20-point per game scorer in this league. And I think he's just been basically what every Hawks fan thought DeJounte Murray was maybe going to be when they went and got him back in the day. Nickeil has done that. I saw that he averaged more points per game this year than Trae Young did before the trade. That's wild to think of. But Nas usage percentage, career high, but he still takes care of the ball. His true shooting percentage right in line still with what he was doing with the Wolves, which was obviously in a more reduced role, smaller role. So to keep up that efficiency, to take care of the ball, to be their point guard, guy's 24-4, man. He's just really, really good, and he gives it on the defensive end too. So I think it's been overlooked though because the Trae Young trade, the Jalen Johnson ascension to all-star level, the Kuminga even deal here at the deadline. And the Hawks are classic 500 Hawks, so it's like, okay, no one talks about him all that much. I think he's been really underrated.
Yeah, to me, he is sort of like Paul Millsap. Weird comparison. But think about Paul Millsap when he played for the Utah Jazz. You're like, wow, he's really good behind Carlos Boozer. Imagine if he ever gets an opportunity. That's the same thing with Nickeil Alexander-Walker behind Anthony Edwards there in Minnesota. He comes to the Hawks and maintains his efficiency, gets more opportunity. So like his per 36s can be pretty similar, but to go from playing the role you are, the minutes you are, taking a huge step forward and still playing that well, I think is super impressive.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up Paul Millsap because Nickeil Alexander-Walker was also on the Utah Jazz. It's one of the
Yes, he was.
It's a great come way back around story for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He was expected to be awesome playing with Zion Williamson at the beginning of his career with the Pelicans. Didn't work out. You're going to Portland. The next day he was dealt to Utah. The next day he was dealt to Utah, and then a year later Utah dealt him away. Now, even with Minnesota, they wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
Tim Connolly didn't have the money from Taylor to give him the money that he deserved. So here he is in a peak role. I had him at the top of my list, and I was thinking, again, we're hardcore, so I thought he's too good for that.
No, nobody even knows who Nickeil Alexander-Walker is.
Yeah.
Like casuals don't.
No, they don't. I mean, he was waiting for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander outside this event Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had, showing off his shoes, and he was just standing there waiting for him. People weren't giving high five and getting an autograph from Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Really likes these shoes.
They were waiting for him. But yeah, he could be most improved player.
He could.
Yeah.
He's jumped up 10.
Get a couple votes.
Jumped up 10 points this year compared to last year. He is now 5th in most improved player odds from FanDuel. It's Jalen Duren, Jalen Johnson, Ryan Rollins, Denny Avdia, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then Keontae George. So he probably
He'll get
won't
some
win.
end of the ballot MIP love. I would think. Yeah.
Great season.
Okay. So happy with that pick. One more round. Tess, lots of names left on the board.
Too many.
A lot of names out there.
Too many.
A lot of names out there.
It's like Tumani Kamara is so good, and he would just be perfect on my team. So I'll just be quick about it and take him.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a smart pick, even though I talk about him. I feel like I know him like he's my bud. Like I listen to his podcast. Like he's just too good.
To his podcast.
No, I don't know if he has a podcast. But
I don't think he does, but he very well could.
I said that because I said he feels like my friend, like I know him, like I
I
do
was
listen to his
what
podcast.
a weird thing to
Relationship, I
say.
see,
Does he
I
have a
see,
podcast or not? Gotcha.
I don't know. It is amazing.
I just like. I think for him, I had him on my list too. I actually am upset you took him. When you think underrated, a lot of times my mind goes to like 3-and-D guys that are actually 3-and-D guys, and to me, those are classic sort of underrated guys, and he fits that bill. This guy's. I mean, he got some love last year, right? He was
on
second team all defense. Yeah.
So yeah, he got plenty of love. Yeah. He is great. And he works perfectly if we're playing 3-on-3. Derrick White, Tumani Kamara,
not take that into
and Ryan
consideration.
Kalkbrenner.
I guess we should have talked that through. I really failed my building of my 3-on-3 team. I will not be making the Olympics.
Yeah, but I've got a guy that's talked about a lot in Derrick White, a guy that's talked about a decent amount in Tumani Kamara, and then a guy who's not really talked about Ryan Kalkbrenner. So there's those. I've got rankings now. They kind of like fit a mold here.
But he was when you think draft picks, he went like end of the second round. He barely got drafted, Tamani Kamara. And now he starts and contributes for Portland. And 13-5, 2.5 assists, a steal per game, and he's making 37% of his catch and shoot threes. So that's obviously you're looking for that element in a 3-and-D guy. So good pick. I had him. I'm upset you took him.
There's other 3-and-D guys, though.
Okay. TK, give me your final selection here.
I sort of hesitate to pick this guy because he was a high draft pick. He's had some notable moments, but I think he's still underrated overall. Cason Wallace is my final pick here. He went 10th. He's got a championship, but this guy is the next Derrick White, only instead of blocks, his thing is steals. He's leading the NBA in steals. We've seen him have 20-point games when SGA and J-Dub are out of the lineup for the Thunder. His percentages are a little bit down this year, but I think it's just because he's taken on a little bit bigger role. It'll be interesting to see what the Thunder end up doing with his next contract, because we know the plan for OKC to keep everybody together is you pay the big three in Cheddar Cheese, J-Dub, and SGA, and then you cycle through all these other guys. But he's such an awesome fit, so maybe they'll find a way to be able to pay him, and it's Caruso who progresses out of the system, and eventually they find a replacement for Wallace. But that's my final guy. I wanted my guard out there, and I think he gives it defensively, but also is a contributor on the offensive end.
Great player. Just a great player. They got to keep him. They have to keep him. I know financially.
I mean, you just got done talking about Nickeil Alexander-Walker not being able to stay in Minnesota.
They just traded for McCain. AJ Mitchell is good. He could get drafted in this underrated player draft. We will see what they end up doing, but he's good.
He is really good.
Well, if you took Cason Wallace, who went 10th overall, I am going to take Devin Vassell then. By golly. Because I just love this stat. And it goes to something you were talking about, the Spurs hitting threes, Trey, the other day. Like when they do, God, they win a lot. The Spurs are 36-12 when Devin Vassell just plays. So that's a 75% win percentage right there. That's like one of the best records in the league. I know they have one of the best records in the league. It's even better when he plays. He's hit 3 or more three-pointers in 21 games this season. When he does, the Spurs are 17-4 in such games. They basically never lose when he hits 3 or more. And if we we add him to that stretch that he missed in January, I think it was early January. He missed like 11 or 12 games. If he had played in those games, this guy's top 10 in the league in three-pointers made because of like how many he hits on average. And I just think they've done a great job, him and Mitch Johnson and the Spurs coaching staff, of like changing his shot diet just enough. They flipped it. And what I mean by that is last year, 52% of Devin Vassell's shots were the 2-point variety and only 48% from deep. So it was a nearly 50-50. This year, it's the way it should be with this guy. 43% of his shot attempts inside the arc, 57% from 3-point land. So I think that's pretty cool that this guy has turned into one of the best role players in the league. He was a 20-point per game scorer. He was flirting with that on a bad team. Now he's taken a step back in the pecking order, and he has found his role. And as the numbers illustrate, he's an important piece to the Spurs winning these games. And I think when we get into postseason matchups here, him, Champagnie, both of them, they're going to have to hit threes to go very, very far. And they're a big part of the equation why. So I'll take Devin Vassell. Obviously never making any sort of team or anything like that, or even flirting with an all-star team. Probably never will either. Devin Vassell, the last pick. Who else was on your list? You guys said a lot of the names, actually, or drafted. But go ahead.
The guy I wanted to take as a guard instead of Cason Wallace, but I just simply couldn't do it because he's only played 9 games this season. Ty Jerome.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
It seemed a little fluky last year when he was like 12 per game, 50, 40, 90 for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He had a really poor postseason, and they really, I don't know, it was a combination of not being able to pay him, and maybe they thought, we got the best of Ty Jerome. He didn't come back. He had calf problems to start this season, didn't come back until the Grizzlies season was basically over, but he's almost at 20 a game, 50, 40, 90. I think he's a good shooter. I think he's got great touch with his floaters, and I think he's a pretty decent passer as well. I think Ty Jerome actually is good. I'm surprised.
Najee Marshall is my guy in that he's not talked about a lot, but he is just fit perfectly into Dallas. Not surprising because they're a bad team, but he has improved dramatically in every way. He still doesn't shoot the 3 ball all that well, but it doesn't matter. He plays so hard, so Jason Kidd plays him a ton. Cutting, scoring inside. He's one of those guys that you see him drive in and he takes contact and you think, okay, he's gonna put that up. That ain't going in. He just shoves it in. He just finds a way to push shot it in at every single spot on the floor inside the arc. But yeah, he's been great. 15 points per game. It's surprising for him to be doing that in his most efficient season from 2-point land. Again, not great at 3-point land, but still, he's just so good.
Two other guys I had, Pele Larson with the Heat, I think has gone under the radar. I think he's a solid player. He's always getting hit in the face, but he's a good player. And Mamu for the Raptors has been really, really solid. It's fallen off a little bit as of late, but overall, his season in basically 60 games played, the guy's like 11-5 off the bench. He can hit the 3. He's playing. He's an undersized big. Teams have figured him out a little bit. I said this the other day. Like they're like, oh, just put a small forward on him, and it makes it a little more difficult for him. But he's been good. He's been very good at the contract he's at. So those were two other names. When it comes to what about this guy?
Yeah, we could go all day.
We could go all day, baby.
Hartenstein, Kada, Day'Ron Sharp, Oso Iguodaro, Mitchell Robinson, Sam Merrill, Isaiah Joe, Dante DiVincenzo, Asar Thompson, Dean Wade, Quentin Grimes, and yeah, I put him on my list, Grayson Allen.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Those are all. That's my full thing.
Yeah, the Thompsons I had on my list and I removed them. I was like, they both feel like they get talked enough about.
See, I think Asar is much more underrated than
it's probably true, but I'm feeling there's even like that's turned a little bit even now. Maybe with the Pistons record at the way it is, like I'm hearing more about Asar now and his importance.
Yeah,
how he's better than Amen on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about throwing Dennis Jenkins in there. You're talking about the Pistons. It depends on the 3-man team you want to build, because if you want some scrappiness, you call for Dennis Jenkins. That guy fights.
How did you not select Colin Gillespie?
Because I talk about him every day.
Okay, fair enough.
It doesn't feel very underrated.
I draft him every day is the answer. Yeah, you're on the show. Okay, fair enough. All right, who do we miss? There's other people out there. Let us know in the stream team. Let us know in the YouTube comments. Tweet at us at NoDunksInc or hit us up on IG, wherever you want to talk to us. Bye-bye. Love Bite of the Night, sponsored by indie rock band Missed Dunks at Summer League. It's the real thing. The debut album, Fared Well, is out March 13th. Right around the corner. 2 singles and a music video. That music video, Mr. Fable's Leaving Town, is out now on all streaming services. What the hell am I saying right now? Missed Dunks at Summer League, Fared Well, and Mr. Fable's Leaving Town.
Yeah, that's funny because you said Missed Dunks at Summer League, Fared Well. I laughed. I put that in there, but I still laughed because it sounded like you said they did good. But that's the name of their new album.
So that's the album. Yeah.
But I was confused because I had copy pasted 3 other random song names in there, and I was looking, where are these song names? I couldn't find them, so I threw in Mr. Fable's Leaving Town, which is out now on all streaming services instead. I didn't know if they wanted me to talk about those other 3 names.
Oh, you did that? You just went the extra mile, eh?
Yeah. Well, he said we got to do the research here.
Hey,
I listened to the tunes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they sound good. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hum and Shiner, but I got some Hum and Shiner vibes.
I am not.
No, just a nice guitar bands.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good
There's
stuff.
a video of them running around, or the one artist running around Memphis. It's cool.
That's cool.
But their band is called Missed Dunks at Summer League.
100%.
I mean, look, I'm intrigued. You have my curiosity. Well, goes to Jrue Holiday. Whoa, man. That's not a boy. That's a man.
Whoa,
Jrue
man.
Holiday scored a season-high 35 points to lead the Blazers to a victory over the Grizzlies. Shot 13 of 19 from the field, 8 of 11 from deep. Contributed a game-high 11 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal in 32 minutes. Jeremy Grant also had a good game, so it was sort of the older guys coming through.
They were hooping
for the Blazers last night as they got that win over Memphis to obviously help them out there in that jumbled sort of mess of the play-in the Western Conference. Congratulations to Jrue Holiday. I wonder if he's ever even won a Woboy. I don't think so.
Long career.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I did do it for a long time, way back in the day. Yeah, maybe.
It's possible.
Good game. Good game. Pick 'em. That's a loss for me last night. I had the Thunder, which they won. So you're like, what the hell? You won. Well, no, I needed them to win by 5. I mean, that could have happened. Obviously, a
yeah.
bucket, a score
yeah.
here, or a Knicks miss at the end. Maybe I get there, but you guys covered. So I'm 1-2. You guys are 2-1.
That was exciting. I felt like a real gambler last
I
night.
know.
Like celebrating when the Knicks missed the 3-pointer.
To not go to overtime.
To not go
Yeah,
to
I know,
overtime,
I know.
but then also grab the offensive rebound
Yes.
so they got another shot, which didn't result in free
free
throws
throws.
that would have pushed it over 5, assuming
I may have
the
won
Thunder
that.
made it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is what it's like.
Came down to one rebound, maybe have decided it.
Yeah, it did not feel right being excited when the Knicks missed a 3-point shot.
Great
But I was
miss.
like, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh
well.
Tonight, the Lakers go to Denver. Denver's favored by 5.5. Feels big. Denver hasn't won 2 in a row in a month. So this is their attempt tonight. And that's why I picked them, even though it's probably not smart. They got so many guys injured. No Aaron Gordon, no Peyton Watson. We know that. That's been happening for a while. Kim Johnson, also questionable tonight. So it's not a good recipe, but I picked them anyway. So did you, Trey. Why did you pick the Denver Nuggets?
I don't know. The line being so big kind of was like, are they telling us something here? I do think that the Nuggets can be effective offensively against the Lakers. And I don't know. I think a little bit of weird vibes with both teams.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. They also don't have Spencer Jones to throw at Luka. He's also going to miss tonight's game. Although the Lakers are healthy. Is that why you're taking them?
Yeah, part of it. I mean, I'm taking the points here. I'm hoping for a close game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like we saw maybe in Madison Square Garden last night. Will that happen in the Mile High City? We'll find out. It's still early, so I'm not panicking. But I could obviously gain this game back here if I get the Lakers to lose by 5 or less, or even win, for crying out loud. Why not? Go win it.
Go out there and win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it for me. Okay. We'll find out tomorrow how that one goes down. We'll talk about it. I'm sure that's probably one of the marquee games on tonight. Lakers, Nuggets. Thanks for joining us here today. If you are a fan of Survivor, and you should be, because Survivor 50, we've had 2 episodes of this season. It's already better than the previously, 5 seasons combined, in my mind. Like, we covered some pretty crappy Survivor seasons, if we're being honest.
Well, I mean, we're talking about crappy episodes.
Oh, God.
Hey,
look
hey,
at this
hey,
guy.
hey.
This guy shit his pants on national television last night.
Yeah, that's a happy man.
And he was happy
He's
about
got
it.
poop.
Well,
in
he
his
wasn't
butt.
happy about it, but he took it in stride.
Yeah, he
Or took it in
strides.
waddle, yeah. So we'll talk about Christian crapping his pants on Survivor's episode last night, or on No Buffs, coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's got its own YouTube feed, its own podcast feed, so please check that out and subscribe. You know what? Just go subscribe, even if you're not a Survivor fan or Traders fan, because we did that too. Just go subscribe for us. Just help
do
your
it.
boys out. That's not a lot to ask in my mind.
It's not
Click
at all.
over and the link is in the show notes. So click over and subscribe, please. Help us out.
Wow, there are people in the live tribe already.
Oh, Nora said at 8 o'clock people were talking.
unbelievable.
Yeah. The Survivor fans are
You poop your
sickos.
pants and people want to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to talk about you pooping your pants, I'm sure, on No Buffs later today.
Which time?
I was thinking of the time in Las Vegas at a nice dinner.
Oh, I was thinking the time on NBA TV. And those are just since we've known each other.
Unbelievable. Incredible. So we'll talk about that on No Buffs. Hopefully you'll join us. Until tomorrow, though, when we're here for the Drop Podcast. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, TV has changed. They will show anyone pooping themselves, as we just talked about on Survivor. So tune in to No Buffs a little later. Maybe it'll be another time for Trey. Probably not.
Maybe
Very,
you'll
very likely.
shit your pants after you do the smelling salts tomorrow. That'd be pretty amazing.
Don't wear white. Trust me.
Why do you think that encourages
I don't know.
stuff going on in the body?
Have you ever done smelling salts? No. So who knows how your body's going to react?
A little bottled insanity in the nose.
You guys can try it out.
Oh, we probably will.
Oh,
Yeah, we
yeah.
probably will.
I forgot to bring it. It's here.
Okay,
I
great.
forgot to bring
it's
it
okay.
from. It's over there.
We're doing it tomorrow.
It's got a
Tass
dragon on the
is
bottom.
paying off February's pick'em loss by doing smelling salts, which will inevitably lead to all of us doing smelling salts. Probably. So we'll see you tomorrow. Brace the day.